Hey everyone, Dragon47 here, and today I'm going to come to you guys with part 2 of how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I mentioned last time that there was a type of spell card that I never actually brought up. Well, I'm going to bring it up right now, and that is known as ritual cards. Ritual cards are monsters and spells that are basically invoke spells that you need to use in order to summon monsters. Here's what a ritual spell looks like. Looks like any other normal spell card, but the difference is that there is a little flame thingy over here. So, I just said that twice. I'm not very smart. Alright, so, in order to tell what monster is a ritual monster, it's very simple. It is blue, and it looks like this. And it has the word ritual on the card. So basically, in order to ritual summon a monster, you have to place the spell down, and the spell requires you to get rid of monsters' levels that equal or usually exceed the monster's level. So, if I had, let's go with, he's a level 8. So, if we just so happen to have 2 Stellar Knights in our hand, I'm not saying that you'd ever want to do this, but this is just for reference. If I had these 2 level 4 Stellar Knights in my hand, and I play this spell card right over here, I could send both of them into my graveyard, as you can see, and then I'd be able to summon my monster. And then the ritual spell, after it's done, would be sent to the graveyard. And that's basically how you ritual summon a card. Now, let's talk about effect monster. Oh, no. Let's continue on with ritual spells. You don't have to do 2 level 4s in order to summon that card. Like I said, it can equal or exceed that. So, if you had a card like Trigodia in your hand, and you had these 2, Trigodia's levels exceed Demise King of Armageddon's by about 2 or 3 stars. I can't really tell because I'm looking through the camera. So if you play this, send Trigodia to the grave, then you can just summon him for free. And yeah, that's pretty much how you summon a ritual monster. Now, let's talk about effects. Monsters that have effects are, instead of yellow, orange, like you just saw with the 2 Stellar Knights. Yeah. So, this is an effect monster. It's orange and, a bit different, because when you play the card, it actually has an effect. Even this card is considered an effect monster. So, let's talk about his effect. You could ritual summon this card with End of the World, which is his original ritual card, but this card allows me to play that as well. You can pay 2,000 life points to destroy all other cards on the field. Okay, so if he was on the field, you could pay 2,000 life points and just destroy every single other card on the field. Just completely obliterate your opponent's field and your own, except for that one card. And basically, you could just swing at your opponent directly for 2,400 points of damage. As I talked about in the last video, you take 8,000 subtracted by 2,400. You know what? You guys can do the math at home. Ritual spells come in all sorts of stuff. There's Spirit's Blessing, which basically allows you to ritual summon any light ritual. There is Earth Chant, which allows you to summon any earth ritual, but that's not all. You could use this one to ritual summon any Cyberse ritual, so a type rather than attribute. And then there are ones that are specific for monsters, like Black Magic Ritual, for like Dark Illusion Magician, rather than Black Illusion Magician, because Konami. Anywho, effect monsters usually have abilities as soon as they hit the field. So let's talk about Dice Clops, just as an example. So once per turn, you can roll a 6-sided die, and then apply the result. If you roll a 1, you get to look at your opponent's hand, also discard a card from their hand. If you roll a 2, 3, 4, or 5, you discard 1 card. If you roll 6, discard your whole hand. Not saying you'd ever use this card in real life, but this is a primary example. So if I were to summon this card, and I'd say I activate his effect, I'd roll a die. I currently don't have one on me, otherwise I would. But, and basically whatever number that you'd land on, that effect would resolve. Now, another condition for effects is a summoning condition effect. So let's just say you had Red Gadget in your hand. I'm going to get rid of Dice Clops. His effect is, when this card is normal special summon, you could add a yellow gadget from your deck to your hand. So I normal summon this. His effect would go off immediately. And I'd be able to search my deck. Let's just say this is my deck. I don't have yellow gadget currently, but I Yeah, I don't have them currently. So basically, I'd be able to search through my entire deck for a yellow gadget. And then let's just pretend this is yellow gadget. And I'd add it into my hand. Then after you're done searching for a card, you're supposed to shuffle. Because that's how you know you can't just look at your cards and then be able to predict which ones come next. Because there are decks out there who, like, condition win by looking at the top card and then guessing if it's monster, spell, or trap. And basically they can do stuff just like that, and it's pretty interesting. But we're not talking about types of decks today. I'm talking to you guys on how to use effects, like all of these effect monsters, and how to ritual summon, like I just said. And finally, I'm going to teach you guys how to special summon, which is another type of summoning method. So, to special summon a monster, you need to have, how do I put this? Okay, so basically, instead of wasting your entire normal summon, or a tribute summon, so when you sacrifice like 2 or 1 to summon a bigger, better, or weaker creature, instead you can just go on ahead and special summon a card absolutely cost-free. Or just for the effect. So, let's just say I have these 2 Stellar Knights in my hand, right? Just because they're naturally here. This one has a neat little effect that says, if this card is summoned, you can special summon 1 Stellar Knight monster from your hand, except Stellar Knight Vega. You can only use this effect once per turn. Notice I emphasize the words on the once per turn part. I wish my camera wouldn't be so blurry, but I don't really have a good lighting at the current moment. Maybe I can... Okay, yeah, much better. Once per turn. You can see it right down there. So, if I were to summon this guy, and I had this one in my hand, I could use his effect, and then I can just instantly summon this guy. So I probably special summon him in defense mode. And I'd have 2 monsters for just playing the one. And that's how a lot of decks move nowadays. They just play one, and then you could summon another, either from the deck, or from the hand, or a different specific monster. And that's pretty much how special summoning works. There are other special summoning methods, like using the extra deck all the way over here, but I'm not going to cover the extra deck today. That will be for another video, and in those videos I will be talking about the topic of Fusion, XYZ, Synchro, of course, I can't forget those Synchros, and those, of course, links, because what do you think these are for? So, after all of that, god dang it, I'm sorry, I've really been bad at that recently. As soon as we're done with all of that, pretty much, you'll know how to play the basic of Yu-Gi-Oh! And hopefully you guys will turn to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a fun game. It's not that it's too hard to learn, it's just that you have to put the willingness and you have to have the push that makes you want to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see here. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh, right, banishing. So, there is a zone that's not currently on this map. It goes on the other side over here, graveyard. This is considered the banishment zone. So, if you summon a card like Jack Wyvern, let's get rid of the 2 Stellar Knights. And you just so happen to have red gadget on your field from before. Jack Wyvern would have another special ability. Rather than, let's just say second booster is in your graveyard, right? Right. No, not second booster. We'll go with another Jack Wyvern, because why not? So basically, if you can banish this card, 1 face-up machine monster you control, then target 1 dark monster in your graveyard, special summon it, you can only use this effect of Jack Wyvern once per turn. So if you had red gadget out, and you wanted to summon Jack Wyvern, you can use his effect to banish itself. Oh, banish itself and this, throw it into the banish zone to resummon your other Jack Wyvern. I don't know why you'd ever want to summon another Jack Wyvern. I personally would not. I'd do it to summon something stronger like Cyber Dragon, because Cyber Dragon's cool, and Cyber Dragon's way better, but he's a dark type, so that wouldn't really work. I don't honestly see many people playing Jack Wyvern and Red Gadget in decks anymore. Again, these are just primary examples. And, well, that pretty much covers it for this video. I hope you enjoyed learning how to ritual summon, how to special summon, and how to use effects, and finally, how the banishments work. If you have any questions, please do feel free to leave down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!